An evangelical pastor is going after his own kids for calling him out. Now, Reverend Rick Joyner has been calling for Christians to buy weapons for a coming civil war. So a civil war that, of course, I guess that he is preparing to be a part of. I mean, because, nothing is more Jesus-like than picking up an AR-15 and shooting people who don't agree with you, which includes kids, apparently. So this was detailed in a New York Times column. So the pastor is labeling his own children as being evil. He's, of course, the same pastor who in 2016 compared Donald Trump to the disciples of Jesus. Hilarious. He also told his followers in 2013 that he was praying for a military coup against former President Barack Obama. Of course. But it's Antifa that's the real problem, right? Antifa, real problem. And not these insane people hiding behind religion in order to call for violence. How is this any different than the mullahs? That's what I have to ask. This guy sounds like he belongs in Iran. I mean, come on. All right. Anyway, so now columnist Nicholas Kristof noted in his Sunday piece that Reverend Joyner suggests that liberals are the allies of the devil. But this is the awkward part, wrote Kristof. His 5 children would be on the other side of the Civil War, as he and his kids all acknowledge. Just as America is torn asunder by politics and polarization, so is the Joyner family. The Joyners love each other, are there for each other, and despair for each other. So now I love the idea, okay, that caring for poor people, asking the rich to pay their fair share, loving the immigrant and thy neighbor, whether they be trans, gay, black, whatever, is somehow being an ally of the devil. Great. Yeah, sure. Now, here's the thing. All those things sounded kind of Christian to me. Now, not the current iteration of it, obviously, but at least what it's supposed to be advertised as. I know, false advertising. There's a lot of people who claim to be, Christian, good religious people, but they're not. And they haven't even, read or understood the source material whatsoever. Someone like myself who was non-Christian, non-religious, I understand more of the source material than these people. I'm just saying. Now, his eldest child, Anna Jane Joyner, said this about her father, quote, he talks about Democrats being evil, forgetting that all 5 of his kids vote for Democrats. Who is he asking his followers to take up arms against? Liberal activists. That's me. Oh yeah, that's you, technically. That, of course, it's also anyone who doesn't, who isn't extremely religiously conservative, which is like most of the country. Look, here's the thing. So there is this division, right? But you have Republicans actually that have some fairly liberal beliefs. I know, but hold on. You actually ask most Republicans, guess what they like? Medicare and Social Security. Progressive. Those are liberal things. Those are progressive policy that we'd actually like to see expanded to more people. Even half of all Republicans, 50%, are fine with same-sex marriage. They don't care. They're like, yeah, totally fine. 50% of Republicans. It should be more, obviously, but half of all Republican voters, totally fine with it. All right. Now, 43% of Republicans want to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Now, it's not a majority, obviously. And there's some, Republicans that are way against this, right? But 43%, almost half, not too terrible. All right. We're getting there. You have Republicans that are open to some progressive ideas. 53% are open to a wealth tax. So there are ideas that are progressive that some Republicans are open to. But why then are they voting for, insane Republicans that want none of those things and just want to funnel money to the rich? Culture war, wedge issues, abortion, cancel culture, that kind of stuff. And a lot of that, of course, is driven by conservative media. Now, policy-wise, though, but there are some things that self-described Republicans believe in that are good, that are progressive, that they actually believe with us. So, I mean, come on. That said, those are things that people like Bernie Sanders can actually do, propose to bring, to basically go to things like Fox News, right, and do a town hall where you have, Republicans, people in West Virginia clapping for Medicare for all, saying, well, that's obviously a common sense good idea. Yes, universal health care. And remember, we're the only advanced country that doesn't really have any form of actual universal health care. In European countries, the conservatives there are generally still defending the system of universal health care. So understand that the right wing is pretty insane here compared to the rest of the world. That said, this pastor is using the culture wars to call his political opponents evil, essentially. Now, look, I don't believe that all Republican voters are evil. I believe a lot of the stuff that they vote for is evil, that their representatives do in their name, evil. I believe the people, though, the voters are deeply misguided. Some of them are hateful because of the fear and disinformation that people, like this guy stoke. All right. Some of them also are just incredibly greedy, awful people. And a lot of them actually just don't know better. I know it sounds condescending, but it's true. People who watch Fox News are actually disinformed. They actually know less than people who watch other cable news sources because they're not getting informed. They're just getting cancel culture stuff shoved down their throats, which is ironic because the thing that they complain about is cancel culture all the time when Fox News is literally doing nothing but WAP, Dr. Seuss, cancel culture stuff. Let me give you an example. I know this is an anecdote, right? But it's somebody I knew. Okay. I knew somebody who voted Republican. Now, why does she vote Republican? Well, she said it's because her family has always voted Republican, as does her church. So, of course, she votes Republican. Now, where does she stand on the issues? She don't really know. She doesn't know about the issues. Now, this person happens to also be on food stamps, Section 8 housing, and on disability. But she votes Republican. Completely ironic. Now, the thing is, again, she doesn't know about the issues. She's not informed. And there's that peer pressure, right? Well, my family's always voted. My parents always vote Republican. My church votes Republican. Everybody in my congregation votes Republican. And so that's why I vote Republican. Yeah, but don't you understand that you're actively voting against yourself when you vote for Republicans? Republicans are getting rid of Social Security, and they've convinced some Democrats to try to curtail benefits as well. Republicans are not in favor of Medicare. Republicans are not in favor of higher wages, not in favor of Section 8 housing, not in favor of food stamps. They want to cut food stamps. That's an example of what we're facing here. The complete lack of information and total disinformation coming from the right wing. This is an example of the dangerous toxicity as well, spread in the right wing. What this man is saying, all right? And this family is deeply afraid of what could actually happen to them as a result of this. She and her family said that they were concerned, and this is going back to the Joyner family, are concerned that this right-wing rhetoric could get people killed. It's true. She said, I think it's completely possible that some of my dad's followers could pick up guns and cause violence because they think they're defending the country. And January 6th is a great example of that, where they didn't pick up guns, but they had other weapons and they used them. Police officer Derek Chauvin, not Derek Chauvin, sorry. I forget his name. Damn. Brian Sicknick. Police officer Brian Sicknick was killed during the January 6th raid at the Capitol. So there is one example of violence. And not only that, her youngest brother, Sam, agrees. He says he's causing harm in my view. And he's being incredibly irresponsible. But yeah, totally irresponsible. There's more. Ben Joyner, the brother, says, I think what he does is morally wrong, but I love him. I don't want to hurt him. But when he's spreading dangerous ideas, it gets complicated. And understand, this is what a lot of families are going through. And I couldn't imagine like dealing with not only a Republican, a conservative, but like a conservative family member, which I do have, by the way. But like this kind of unhinged, insane stuff, you know, like QAnon people, conspiracy theorists. This is one of those guys, conspiracy theorists. Of course, he's one of those like the Tim Pool people, right? That's like, oh, civil war's coming. You got to arm yourself. You got to buy guns and maybe prepper buckets. You know, like the Jim Baker buckets, which are like disgusting as fuck. But there's that. Okay. And I understand that it can get really complicated. But like things, you know, we have to figure things out, how to deal with these people and make sure that they don't keep spreading this, you know, this violence, essentially. Now, it's funny. Christoph then called Reverend Joyner, asked him about his family. Here's what he said. It's about even. One of my goals as a parent was to raise strong, independent children. But I think I overshot the runway. No, I think you did just fine. Ironically. But here's the thing. It's not even. It's not about even. Not at all. It's not even close. It's not like your kid. Okay. Your kids are annoyed with you and your beliefs. Okay. Because you're calling them evil. And then you're saying that your followers should arm themselves and shoot your kids. Do violence against them. Why? Because you don't think like, or they don't think like you do. That's it. The kids, well, they're just like, wow, I wish my dad wouldn't do that. Wouldn't say those things. And that's really it. I mean, this is not even, I mean, and the fact that he doesn't see this, what he's doing wrong is mind blowing. Maybe there's a financial incentive here where, you know, these people are like, well, I mean, obviously I've got to keep, you know, ginning up this fear and this hatred, so that I, you know, people will keep tuning into my show, because it turns out that stuff really does help with the clicks, man. Yeah, it turns out being crazy, spreading fear, disinformation, getting people to fight with each other, doing drama. Yeah, that's what helps channels. That's what helps channels grow. This is why but I don't do that. That's why I haven't grown, by the way, on YouTube, barely. That's why I don't do well on YouTube, or, you know, anything like that. But like, this is dangerous. What he's doing is dangerous. That sucks. You shouldn't do that. And how blind can you be at your own words? And this is the problem with the right wing. Okay. Their ideology obviously sucks. It doesn't work. We know that. It literally makes society worse for women, black people, immigrants, everybody, but except for straight white people. All right, that's it. This country is getting more diverse as their ideology gets left in the dust. The hardliners get more extreme. Okay, this is an example. This is just all about the violent rhetoric that is coming from the right wing. It's true, and yet the right wing is more concerned about somebody burning down an Arby's when, you know, people, human beings, are actually being killed as a result of dangerous right wing ideology in this country. This pastor is an extremist. His kids are right when they say that his words could be a cause for violence, because we have seen it happen before, and unfortunately, we're going to see it happen again. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.